So one little tidbit I noticed is, so we're talking about, what do you call it, hardware flow control, yeah, functioning flow control, and in the serial port setup, I didn't have it enabled. Now, considering this is a FTDI, an official one, and it does have CTS and RTS enabled, I believe. Bit hard to see the one that's currently plugged in, but if I check the other one, it should have flow control. Yeah, RTS, CTS. So that could be the cause of X modem playing up. I don't want to do that. Let's go for what? Okay, so that's something. XM. No. First, let's check for ROMs. Yep, nothing. XMR SE. I want to go A SC130.ROM. I know I'm running on the SC126, but you can get the file going over anyway. So files open for that. Transfer X modem send. Yep, that's a ROM. Well, if you look at that, I think that's all I had to do. Was just enable flow control. I am not a smart man. Well, let's see. I really do hope this works, because it'll bloody be fantastic. Just read the fine print. Hardware flow control, if it's there, use it. You know? Because that's going to affect stuff like checksums, you know, escape characters, God knows whether. You know, it would have been fine for, you know, the bare basics what I'm doing. You know, just interacting it via terminal. But, you know, for anything, file transfers, anything, you know, with a lot of data and stuff, different encoding formats. Here we go. That is going to take a bit of a while, because, you know, it's 512 kilobytes over serial connection. It's really not much at all. So whilst this is going, I'm gonna pause the recording and start it up once it's done. Okay, so we're now at 90 something percent, 93.94, 95. So I think it's gonna work. I'll run a quick little, you know, checksum to make sure it did transfer correctly. Don't know what happened there. So now that it's done, .1 SC130. Okay, so I want to unplug power, well, the FTDI, unplug the SD card, move that over there. Let's see. SD card into the SC130. Serial port in. I believe we have power. Woo, okay. So now I can just do a little directory check again. Okay. Flash write SC130.ROM. No, let's see how this works. I mean, it's identified the chip. I've got the right to protect flash enabled, disabled, so it should be actually writing it. Power LEDs flashing, prove it's firmware update. We shall see in just a minute if it's going to work at all. 128, 127. Verify, it's actually verifying now, I think. Reprogram 92 at 128 sectors. Okay, so maybe not all of the chips changed. I really don't know, actually, at all. Just gotta verify. Verify complete. So now, if I reset, will we get an up-to-date build. Yes! May of last year, 21st of May last year. That's good. That is bloody good. Okay, so now we're still using quite an older distro of ROM WBW. I wish I was a bit of a, because I'm not even sure what, I mean, I imagine Wayne Wolven, yeah, so it's his project, it's probably just his initials, his GitHub profiles, you know, top tier. Bloody top tier software, really, you know, because I think it can even be used on a CPC 128, which would be a really cool system to get it working on. For example, if we go hardware, this is all just looking at, you know, single board computers that have been made. You know, you even got the original, like, Heathkits. So if we go Heathkit H8, you know, proper vintage. Probably won't get it on a Kim 1. Mind you, I think you can, because it actually does target, well, I don't know about, no, ROM WBW I think is just for, you know, yeah, Z80-esque, Z80 class systems. Fusix on the other hand, so this is the new Git repository. It's a bit, don't know why there's no, you know, saying, oh, we've moved. Just can't see. So yeah, I don't know. I ain't mad. I used to use GitLab and whatever else. So yeah, this one can target shitload more systems. So 8080, 8085, 8086, ARM32, 68000, 6502, the new Western Digital, I think it's WD? No, Western Design Center. 6083, which I think, I'm not even sure what chip this is, to be fair. 6003 processor. Let's see. Because I don't even know HD6303 XP. It's interesting because I have no idea what sort of processor it is really at all. So datasheet. 59880. I have a feeling this is like another, I don't know. And it's compatible with the HD6301. 6301. Who's the manufacturer? Hitachi, of course. So, is it a 6809 copy? Possibly, I don't know. But, yeah, but, you know, it has so many bloody cool features. It's a fantastic piece of software. And, you know, it can run on SC126, or, for example, there's even actually a build for Raspberry Pi Pico. There we go. Yeah, just wire one of these up to it, SD card module, which isn't actually 100% necessary because it does have a built-in flash storage, but you want to use an SD card because it frees up, you know, storage space and whatnot. So yeah, now that we've got this booted up, whew, okay, so let me think now. I'm going to do the same for the SC126, I think. I believe it should be fairly straightforward. Should be good to go XMR SC126.ROM. So let's make sure we point to A drive. 126.ROM. Okay, so now I go File, Transfer, X modem, Send. Desktop. I'm looking for SC126.ROM. SC126.ROM. And it just works. Flow control, people. Don't forget to set flow control. Because look, I've got the no, parity bits, right? I think. What was it? Probably won't say. I think it's just 8 bits, even parity maybe. I don't fully know. Can't remember off the top of my head. But it works. I'll update once this has transferred with X modem. We'll get the SC126. So it's pretty much nearly copied over. Just a few kilobytes left. 3, 2, 1, boom. Let's go. Okay. Unplug FTDI for power. Unplug the SD card. Let's get the SC126 in play. And I want to make sure I get the right ports because I actually did end up bricking, presumably, my original SC126. I can tell it's the original because I actually had labels on that. It's the only way I'm able to tell them apart, pretty much. So let's get a TDI plugged in. Power. Mwahahaha. Mwahahaha. Okay, SC126. Boot to disk 4. Yep. So I should be able to go .rom SC126. So flash write SC126.rom. Now I do have write enabled on both, but it's probably going to, yeah, okay. I have no clue which one's actually which though. So I'll unplug, and I need, well, I don't have any pliers or anything I can use. Oh, I can use this little needle thing. Bit dirty. Take care of that. I just need to switch little jumper here by the IC. Change its position from write enable to, no, write disable to write enable. I have no idea which chip is which, so I'm just going to do it for both. But see on here, because it has both the internal monitor and ROM WBW's firmware, SC monitors Stephen Cousins for design his own ROM monitor. I actually have another jumper right around here somewhere that you can use to change between the two firmwares. You know, use a single pole double throw switch or whatever, you know, little slider toggle switch thing. Just choose between the two ROM banks. It'd be cool if it was done in software, but I don't know if you really need that. Might be possible actually, no idea. So there we go. 4 flash write SC126.ROM. Seems to be working. Now I'm hoping, so it uses bank switching. I'm definitely hoping, I mean, what version firmware is this? Same one? Yeah, New Year's Eve 2023. Should get 21st of May last year, 2025. Now I don't want to move it, of course, because it's a bit temperamental, this connection and stuff. It'd be really cool to get an enclosure for it, because, you know, there's other RC 2014 modules I want to try out. You know, I've also got, buried in my boxes, I've got, like, VGA terminal, for example. Here we go. I've got Z180 MBC2. Just a simple Z80, not Z180. 128k of RAM, 128k ROM maybe. I don't know, it uses an Arduino at Mega 32 or something for serial I/O, UARTs, you know, disk access and other stuff. But one thing I really like, which I built myself, is this. So this has VGA output, 9-volt input, and a PS2 keyboard. So it's very much a very do-it-yourself, like, I think it provides, you know, VT52 compatibility. Not entirely sure. Not quite VT100. I don't know. It'd be really cool to try it out with these single board computers. So let's go ahead and restart. SC126, it's loaded, and yeah, build date 2025, 21st of May, last year. Perfect. So now if we go advanced, should go back fine. So the 54.0K, I think that just means, so the size of an executable that can fit into memory has to be under 54K. That's like the transient program area, I think. Just going off, you know, knowledge I had 1 or 2 years ago. So it's a bit like conventional memory in an MS-DOS system where you've only got 640K or so, probably less. But I'm sure, you know, you can have bank switching, memory management with an MMU if you wanted and stuff. Just, you know, stuff like that to make your job easier. For example, the CPC 6128, when that uses Fusix or Symbian OS, which is a really cool graphical multitasking operating system, which is amazing for Z180. I think that does use bank switching on memory management just to be able to access like full 1 megabyte of RAM, which is crazy for an 8-bit system. But anyway, let's go ahead and reset. I want to have a look what ROM applications are built in, so you can actually configure it from the bloody thing. That's pretty cool. Print. Okay. HL. Pretty much the same things by the looks of it. Let's go play a game. Oh, so this is 2048. I've never actually played it. So literally, I just, what I do is just type in WASD randomly because I have no idea how to play this game. But still, this is bloody cool, you know. For full escape sequences of colour, you know, VT52 or VT100, whichever had colour, by sort of emulation, you know. See, I have no idea how to play. I literally just press WSD randomly, let it do its thing. Yeah, game over. 1,648 points. No thank you, because I have no idea how to play. Device inventory. So you've got, you know, your 2 character devices for terminals, ASCII 0, ASCII 1, baud rate, config, you know, no parity bits. Actually, that's interesting, because if I go... Oh yeah, no parity bits, 1 stop bit, 8-bit data, 115200, that's fine. So now, if I go, load, Z system, yeah, that's tidy. So I think in the next video, what I'll probably do is try redo the whole software side. So I've done the firmware side, but I really want to get this distribution up to date. Get some new software like WordStar. There's a cool text editor which is kind of like Nano, if assuming you've used Nano if you're a Linux user. Maybe VI, I don't know. But there's plenty of software which is really cool. And I'll probably get a more up-to-date version of Fusix, because that probably has great new features. So I think, you know, it was a bit tricky, you know, I was spending ages trying to figure out what was the exact problem. Figured out it was just hardware flow control I needed to enable. That fixed all my checksum issues. Still be good to try and sort out the CPM tools disk definitions, just so I can have more like easy read-write access without having to boot up CPM 2.2 or Z system or whatever with X modem. That should speed it up if I'm transferring a huge bulk of data, because even for a 512 kilobyte file, it did take a while. You know, I get it's a serial connection, very fast. You know, it's faster than 9600. I'd hate to know what it's like on 9600. Yeah. So, I think I'm in a good position now to try to get other stuff working. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.